Hey guys, Bandit here from Big Boy Gaming. Today I'm going to be bringing you a video of one of my favorite champions in the jungle for the Twisted Treeline, and that's going to be Garen. What I plan on doing for you is breaking down the runes that I run, the different item builds that I'll use depending on the enemy champions, and how we just go about making this champion successful in the jungle during the Twisted Treeline rank games. If you have any questions or thoughts about the video, please make sure that you drop those below in the comments section. If you'd like to receive additional videos like this, please make sure you hit the subscribe button. That way you'll get an email every time that we come out with a new video. Alright guys, let's get into it. Alright, so let's talk runes. We're going to start with Dark Harvest. The reason that I run Dark Harvest is because the damage from this rune amps up and continuously builds throughout your match. In about I'd probably say a 20 to a 25 minute game, it's normal for me to see anywhere between 1600 to 2800 damage just from this one particular rune. Now the way you power up this rune is whenever a champion, a large minion, or a large monster die within 1400 units, you can pick up their soul essence. Now when you're farming in the jungle, or whenever you kill a large minion or you get the finishing blow on a champion yourself, you automatically pick up their soul essence that they drop. Otherwise you can go get it if one of your teammates kill them. Now you have 10 seconds to pick them up, but the benefit of this is once you're empowered, you have 20 seconds to hit a champion or a structure and you deal bonus damage. It deals between 40 to 80 bonus damage plus 25% of your AD plus your total soul essence. So you can get up to 150 soul essences before you become empowered for 300 seconds. So you got to figure that's the first cap, right? So you're going to get to where you want to do a minimum of 150 bonus soul essence damage plus 25% of all AD that you have plus 40 to 80 damage based on your level. So as the game goes on, you are going to progressively hit champions harder and harder and harder. So this is really going to help. Now think about it this way. In the beginning of the game, you don't have much health. So when the minimum damage is 40, plus whatever soul essence you have, plus 25% bonus AD, you're going to be able to hurt champions fairly early with this, especially if you pair it up with Garen's Q, because you're going to get that 140% damage from any AD that he has as well. The second rune that I follow that up with is going to be Cheap Shot. Now you're running a jungler, so you're going to see when we get to the items, but I run the slowing jungle item, so that way you can cast a slow on your enemies. When that happens, you're going to do 12 to 30 bonus true damage on any slowed or immobilized champions. Now, that doesn't sound like a whole lot, but early game, that adds up quite a bit, plus if you stack it on top of your Dark Harvest. So now, if we've slowed our enemy, or they're already immobilized from another champion, you have to figure at level 1, you would do 52 bonus damage, plus your soul essence, plus 25% of your AD, plus whatever you actually hit them for. So that's where you start to see that damage continue to compound. And it is, you can get up to 30 true damage on this item, and it triggers. So every time you basic attack the enemy or hit them with a damaging ability such as Garen's E, this damage is going to continue to hit them over and over and over again. Now, the next rune that we're going to go with is more just for utility. I like to go with the Ghost Poro. I know that we can collect the eyeballs to have even more AD, but in my personal opinion, being able to throw the Poro in one of your bushes allows you to jungle and watch your lanes, because you're going to know when that enemy champion goes to gank your top lane from your side, because they're going to trigger that Ghost Poro. Also, when you're, say your whole team goes top lane, you're going to be able to watch the bottom lane for whenever they come across there. So, utility-wise, I always go with the Ghost, just because it makes my life a lot easier, and peace of mind in League is one of the most valuable things that you can get. Now, as far as Garen, we know that he's slow in the beginning. So what I like to do is I like to go with Ravenous Hunter for a couple of reasons. So every time you get a takedown, you're going to gain 2.5% health steal, basically, on top of the initial 2.5 that you get. In Twisted Treeline, this is really awesome because you can get a stack from the Bounty Hunter just from capturing your altars. So if you can get both altars, you already have 2 of your 5 stacks right there. So now you're healing for 7.5% of damage from hits. So that's why I go with the Domination Tree as you continue to scale, these abilities continue to scale with you. So you're always doing more damage, you're always healing more. So it really makes it hard for them to kill you. And you combine that with Garen's passive, where he heals naturally out of combat anyway, it's really hard to die. Now, as far as the resolve tree goes, I like to use Demolish. The reason being, you only have 2 lanes. It's really easy to snowball your team when you can start knocking out the enemy towers quickly. Also, Garen has a really high base health, and his health grows very rapidly. So when you have Demolish, I'm sure you know what it does. You get 30% of your maximum health, plus 125 minimum damage to the tower or structure that you're destroying. So that's really going to help you push through your enemy waves into the towers and help you win the game a little bit quicker. Finally, Second Wind. So you have a champion that heals. We have Ravenous Hunter already. So why not have it to where you're going to heal for bonus damage after you take damage from the champions? There's only 3, so that little bit of health is going to help you make sure that you can get through all 3 champions before you die. Especially when you trade and they're not really wanting to commit. They tag you for a small amount of health, but you're gaining back 4% of your missing health. So they're really not hurting you for much late game unless they actually focus you. So these are the runes that I like to run. Now, I will tell you that if I notice I'm going up against a team that I need a little more lifesteal, I will swap out Cheap Shot for the healing rune in that line. Just because, a little bit more health may be better than, a little more lifesteal is going to be better than a little bit of damage that you're going to add on from Cheap Shot. You just got to really figure out who you're playing against first. Alright, so now let's talk to the make or break of every match outside of the quality of your gameplay, your items. So with this, I always start out with the Enchantment Cinder Hulk Stalker's Blade. Now I know it was recently nerfed for those non-tanky champions out there, but this item still really helps Garen a ton. So not only is it going to give you that base 300 health, plus another 15% bonus health as the match goes on, but it's going to do the 11 plus 1 per champion level magic damage to enemies around you, with double damage to minions and monsters. So as the game goes on, you're going to continue to clear waves even faster with this item. And then also when other enemy champions are around you, you're going to have a little bit of passive tick on them also. Now, the first major item I normally go for after that typically is going to be the Black Cleaver. I may buy the base boots first. It really just depends on the match that we have, because you do get a lot of mobility from Garen's Q. The reason I want to go with the Cleaver is because it's going to continue to remove the enemy's armor, even their natural armor, up to 24%. I know we already all know that. And it gives you a speed boost, so when you're chasing down people, you can kill a minion, boom, go right into a little bit of a speed boost on your way. Third item, Merc Treads. Everybody needs Merc Treads. Anytime you have champions that are going to stun you, slow you, etc., etc., lowers that by 30% and gives you a little bit of MR. Depending on the enemy comp that you go against, you will also see me swap those out for the Ninja Tabby or even the Berserker Treads, depending on what I can build. If I don't need the armor or the tenacity, I usually will typically go with the Berserker just to get some extra swings out of there. Then we go to stacking our damage even further and defense. Dead Man's Plate, the good old DMP. So from that, as you're running those enemies down, you're going to be able to get that bonus damage. So what you want to envision is when you're running an enemy down, you're at 100 stacks with Dead Man's Plate. So you're going to do that bonus 100 damage, plus your Q is going to hit them, plus your Dark Harvest is going to go off, and hopefully Cheap Shot as well. So that is a ton of burst that you're going to drop on your enemies whenever you're running in. And let's face it, then the enemy starts running away, Q pops again, and you rinse and repeat, and you really hurt that guy as well. We're going to follow that up with a gauge. You get some bonus health. We really want the 2 passives on this. That's where it really boils down to. 50% base attack damage. Garen gets some decent damage as he levels up. It's going to continue to help you do even more damage. So once again, now you run in, you attack, you get the DMP, you're going to get the Cleaver bonus, you're going to get your Dark Harvest, more and more adding on that initial Q. If you get in a little over your head, you also get a little bit of a shield to save your ass. It comes in handy a lot. And then last but not least, Frozen Mallet. So with the mallet, you're going to gain a slow on your enemy, which is going to be 40% slow on your melee attacks. So once again, if you're running cheap shot, you're going to get that bonus damage pretty much all the time. So you combine that with these other items, it's going to be pretty hard to kill you. This is, I guess you would say, is my pretty static 6 that I'll normally go with, unless I'm going up against a unique champion comp that I need to modify those items. So you may see me swap out Black Cleaver for Hydra, or you may see me go Frozen Mallet instead of Black Cleaver first. You know, every build always has variations based on if you're going up against an all AD or AP team. Typically, if you're going up against a mix, this is a pretty healthy build. But let me know what you think about that, guys. If you run Garen in the jungle, let me know how this works out for you, or what you would change about the build. Alright guys, so let's talk combat. So setting up your gank, setting up your attacks, very vital to being a good jungler. In 3s it's a little bit easier because you only have 2 lanes that you have to worry about, and they have to come through your jungle pretty much if they want to go to either lane. So what I'm going to talk to you about here is how we set up these attacks. In the clip that you're going to see here, it's going to be me and Buck from over the weekend. He's playing Galio, I'm on Garen, and we're going to set up basically the annihilation of the enemy team. So as we go in, you're going to see us running down to meet our enemy at our tower. He goes in to get their attention. We're going to come in with a Q. There's pretty much half their health. Going over to Brand. We get stunned. It's okay. Once again, we have Soul Charge up. Boom, hit the Q, run. Aatrox comes in, watch his health. Once again, solid chunk out of his health. And we would have our Soul Charge up again. We're also close to having Dead Man's Plate going, but we got stunned there. But, you know, we're going to have the E to help us finish him off with Galio. That's the benefit of this build. So you're going to be able to kill one champion, get a bonus to going right into the second champion, get a bonus to go right into the third champion. So it's basically a machine gun style attacking. You're able to go in, you're able to just mess shit up, and then you clean up a tower and move on to the next part. Now, sometimes what you'll see is your enemies will try to gang up on you. What I like to do at that point is I'll actually start off with E, and I'll pop Q in the middle of the E. That way, as you're spinning, you gain the spin bonus and the speed bonus. So you're going to be able to mow down your enemies by staying on top of them as they're running. But as soon as you come out of your spin, as long as the Q is still available, it's going to automatically auto-attack that enemy for the bonus damage and the silence. You can also turn around and then chain that with your ultimate. Now, the reason that is so impactful is while you're spinning, you're pretty much unable to be stopped. So you're able to put yourself in a position that you're going to be able to set yourself up for the Q, you're going to be able to set yourself up for the ultimate, and you're going to make sure that you get some extra bonus kills that way. Other than that, guys, it's normal playing. Make sure you get your farm on, make sure you get your lane on, and help your teammates push macro objectives. So if you have any questions on how we do different things in the jungle with Garen, let me know. My best recommendation for you is get yourself a Galio. Phenomenal tank, especially if he's played by Buck. He's going to make sure those taunts go off so they can't get away from you. And as you see there, she didn't stand a chance. So, alright guys, if you have any comments on the attack strategy, let me know. Any questions, so forth, just drop them down in the comments below.